We've got three developments today that say a lot about how modern naval and intelligence power is shifting. Not flashy headlines necessarily, but the kind of quieter movements that reshape the balance. A new visual investigation I saw yesterday by Reuters reveals that China's been rehearsing amphibious landings using civilian roll-on, roll-off ferries and deck cargo ships, part of what analysts are calling a shadow navy. And if you look back on the main channel, I've started that series on China's potential invasion of Taiwan. We're 2 episodes in, and we've started to cover this there as well. Satellite imagery and AIS tracking, those are the tracker systems that you can see, similar to flight radar, those things that you'll see pop up on your social media sometimes if you subscribe to stuff like that. But they're independent monitoring through GPS. And they're showing at least a dozen civilian vessels unloading vehicles directly onto beaches. So these ships, normally they're commercial, but they're now serving dual-use logistical roles, something I talked about in the longer video last week. They move heavy equipment without relying on port infrastructure. And this is a big deal. It matters because China is shifting from large, concentrated landings toward multi-point, small amphibious operations, which are harder to defend against. Civilian assets significantly expand China's invasion lift. Taiwan's defense planners and others, like the Philippines, for sure, are watching closely. And so from my perspective, this story offers a textbook case. Publicly available satellite data, ship tracking databases, open source imagery, revealing a capability not always acknowledged by Beijing. Why would they, right? It changes here how we think about the Taiwan Strait problem and the larger Indo-Pacific. It's not just warships, but commercial vessels, and not just visible fleets, but these hidden logistics as well. And meanwhile, research by a Guam-based monitoring group has recorded 5 Chinese research vessels, including the missile and space tracking ship that they have, the Yuanwang 7, operating in the Northwest Pacific the past month, while U.S. and allied exercises have increased near the Marianas. These ships are classified as quote-unquote research. We know what that means, right? They're mapping seabeds, gathering environmental signals, electronic signals, positioning themselves in zones that would be highly relevant in any great power conflict. The Northern Pacific rarely gets front-page treatment, but right now it's a contested layer for strategic competition. For us as an audience here, this story matters because it reveals a preparation phase of naval conflict rather than a crisis phase. It's quiet, but it shifts why island chains and undersea cables matter so much. A reef near the Marianas, a sonar array near Kiribati, these things matter when great power navies patrol the margins, because that's where things start. Shifting gears a bit, over to the US side, took a look. Anduril Industries is in a partnership with Hyundai Heavy Industries, and they're moving to build a new class of autonomous surface vehicles for the US Navy's new hybrid fleet concept. The first module is being built in South Korea with future production in the US. These modular warships are designed for mass production and distributed deployment, and this is the key. I think that we've seen a lot in the comments on this channel lately how everyone is starting to feel that the United States is behind in terms of production, port capacity, maintenance, falling well behind to China, who's ramping up industrial production. What this means for us is that the United States is recognizing the need to extend the reach and sensors without relying solely on these traditional shipyards or these big ticket platforms. This is a direct response to patterns like China's, the civilian hull strategy, undersea mapping efforts. And this makes it a forward-looking story about the future of naval power, fleets, and warfare, and something we'll certainly come back to. But for now, that is today's briefing. 3 major shifts in naval logistics, undersea mapping, and fleet architecture. The full focus here is on how power is adapting, not just where it's being concentrated. Have a good day. I'll see you soon.